The warm cotton gloves are a winter guardian little girl. Duadwo has a pair of small red cotton gloves. Everyone calls her Nuan. The inner lining of the gloves is wrapped with soft down, feeling like holding a ball of sun-dried cotton. There are also tiny snowflake patterns embroidered on the fingertips. When worn on the hand in winter, even the cold wind cannot get in. Every morning, Duadwo would wear Nuan to the kindergarten. But that day, the wind was too strong. Nuan was blown up and spun around, landing gently on the snow in the park. Just as Nuan steadied herself in the snow, she heard a faint gee sound. It was a little sparrow that had just fallen out of its nest. Its feathers were wet from the snow, and it was shivering with cold, unable to even flap its wings. Nuan hurriedly shouted, "Little sparrow, come to me quickly." It turned the opening of one glove upwards and used the soft fluff to block the snowflakes that drifted in. The little sparrow staggered into the glove and curled up on the warm down. Gradually, it stopped shaking and called out softly to Warm twice, as if saying, "Thank you, Warm. It's so warm here." In the morning, the snow stopped and the sunlight slowly shone on the snow. A little squirrel named Lely ran past with a few pine cones in its arms. Suddenly, it found that there was a hole in the small pocket where it held the nuts. The pine cones had fallen into the snow and were frozen hard. Lely was so anxious that it kept wagging its tail. At this moment, it saw Nuan on the snow and its eyes lit up. Nuan quickly said, "Lely, use my other hand to suit pine cones. My down can help you protect the nuts from freezing." Lalubu put the pine cones one by one into her gloves and deliberately kept the plump one beside Nuan. "Thank you, Nuan. Your little pocket is even more useful than mine." At noon, Dodo, the little brother of the neighbor, came to the park to make a snowman. His little hands were red from the cold, and he wanted to find a warm place to rest for a while. But his mother had left the hand warmer she brought at home. Dudu saw Nuan on the snow and walked over curiously. She gently picked up a glove and put it on her red little hand. The soft down wrapped around her little hand and she felt warm at once. Dudu happily shouted to her mother, "Mum, these gloves are so warm." Mum came over and recognized that it was Duadwo's lost glove. She quickly took Dodo to look for Duadu and asked Dodo to hold Nuan carefully, fearing that it might be blown away by the wind again. In the afternoon, Duadu and her mother were looking for Nuan in the park. From a distance, they saw Dodo holding a red glove with another one placed beside it. Duadwo ran over and happily hugged Nuan, saying, "So you're here." Dudu, feeling embarrassed, handed the gloves to Duadu and said, "Sorry, I wore your gloves just now. They were really warm." Duadu smiled and said, "It doesn't matter." It even helped the little sparrow and the little squirrel. On the way home, Nuan was held in Duadwo's arms, still carrying the warmth left by the little sparrow and the fragrance of pan. Duadwo touched the warm down and suddenly felt that it was warmer than before. She had no idea that Nuan had experienced a heartwarming adventure in the snow. She shielded the little sparrow from the snow, packed pine cones for Lely, and warmed Dodo's hands. Warm and cozy clung to Dowadwo's palm, her heart filled with sweetness. It turned out that a pair of small cotton gloves, even if they were away from their owner, could still rely on their own warmth to help many friends. Such a winter adventure was even more delightful than wearing them on the hand. Since then, Duadua has taken better care of Nuan. Every time before putting on her gloves, she would gently pat it as if greeting it. No matter how strong the winter wind is, Nuan can always wrap Duadwog's little hands warmly because it knows that it is not just an ordinary pair of gloves, but also a little harbour that can convey warmth in winter.